This is Ken Pyle with VOD TV. We're at the ACA 20th Anniversary Summit with Colleen Abdullah.
20 years.
And you are the chairwoman. You're also CEO of WOW, Internet, Cable, and Telephone. I think I got it right.
Very good.
So, Colleen, we were here a year ago, and you had expressed some of the concerns members had then. Maybe you can, what's kind of the number one thing on your mind at this event?
Well, what's really exciting since the last time we spoke is the fact that the Congress is willing to take a look at the Cable Act, which was formed in, believe it or not, 1992. So if you look at that, we're 21 years later. And we're in the most advanced, fast-paced industry that exists. Every 9 months some new technology is coming out to market, and yet we're regulated under a 21-year-old act, an act that never speculated the introduction of the internet and all the other technologies that exist today. So we're just thrilled as an association, because we've played a pretty major role in that. For years we've been pounding the pavement to the hill saying, we got to take a look at this, you guys. Please review it. And as of last year, I think it was July of last year, that I had the opportunity to represent the ACA in front of the Senate Commerce Committee and tell them why we felt it was so outdated and it was time to reform it.
Yeah, and 21 years ago, the ACA wasn't here to kind of give the voice to the rural customers that are out there, right?
Exactly, great point. Because over the past 20 years since that act was put in place, a lot of people, our membership, have put their homes up they've mortgaged their homes, they put everything they had at risk to build out these rural communities that some of the larger cable companies weren't interested in. And so we're an important part of the fabric of the telecommunications industry, and we need to be heard. We need the support of Congress, that when they are looking at reforms, they consider the small, medium-sized cable operator.
Well, and we just heard Senator Heller from Nevada talk about the idea of regulatory silos, how when these laws were passed, there were different industries, right? Right.
I think the government suffers from what many companies do. Their structure is not created in a way to really encourage integration and communication and collaboration, and that's a big problem.
Well, and I could see it too, even within the government itself. You've got the various groups that are regulating certain areas. Right?
And every group has their agendas, have their special interests groups who have a lot of money and a lot of lobbying power, and that always causes issues, and I really think it takes people's attention off doing what is right. If people just focused on doing what was right for the end consumer, these things would be done far quicker than they are. But it all becomes politicized.
Yeah, Senator Heller mentioned that. Everyone can agree on 80%, but they fight over the last 20% in the rhetoric.
Right? Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
And that's really sad, because we do want to move things forward, and it's clear that broadband is a part of what his vision is, but it's also the ACA operators.
Right. And I think what's also exciting, along with potential reform of the Cable Act, is different elements of it that affect consumers so dramatically, like all the blackouts that were experienced last year. I said that in my speech this morning, is that there were 91 blackouts of broadcast stations last year. That's over 40% increase over the year before, where people didn't get to see their broadcast station, whatever they were watching, because the negotiation between the operator and the programmer broke down. And the programmer has the ability to remove the signal. That's just ludicrous. I mean, if we have negotiation issues, figure it out, but don't take the service away from the consumers.
Right, and it leads to that other point. You got the retransmission. You also have the sports tax, which is the programming.
Oh my gosh, sports. Get me started on sports. We did a survey in my company, and something like 70% of our customers said they didn't want to pay extra for sports. 70%, and yet for the 20 to 30% who do want to, we are not allowed to separate that programming out and put it on a special sports tier. That would solve that problem. Sure. You love sports, I don't. Right. You pay extra for it. I pay less. And we would love to be able to reduce our customers' bills if we could take out the sports programming and offer it separately. But our programming agreements do not allow us to do that.
Well, and I guess some of the things that are working their way through the courts right now, it'll be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah.
You know, because from a competitive standpoint, what we care about is giving customers what they want at a good value and giving them a great experience while we deliver it. And I think we do a great job on that experience part, on the things that we can control. But I sure wish we had more control over the programming options that we end up distributing and end up charging our customers for.
Well, Colleen, you reflect not only your company, but the ACA companies as well in terms of what you're trying to do for them and for the customers. So, Colleen,
thank you. It's always great to talk to you.